Mia was nervous. She stood at the back of the classroom holding a notebook. The pages were empty. It was her first day in an English class. She looked around the room. Some people were already talking. Some were writing. Mia felt shy. Her heart beat fast. She was 32 years old. She had never studied English before. But today, something inside her had changed. Mia wanted something new. She wanted to talk to people from other countries. She wanted to visit her sister in Canada. She wanted to understand songs, movies, and books in English. That is why she was here. Starting something new is never easy. Sometimes we are afraid. We ask ourselves, can I really do this? Mia had the same question in her mind, but she also had hope. She believed that learning English could change her life. In the first class, the teacher smiled and said, "Welcome, everyone. You are very brave to be here." That made Mia feel better. The teacher's name was Miss Elena. She was kind and patient. Mia liked her voice. It was calm and clear. She spoke slowly so everyone could understand. There were many students in the class. They came from different countries. They had different stories, but they all had the same goal: to learn English. One man wanted to start a small business. A woman wanted to help her children with homework. Another person wanted to get a better job. Everyone had a reason, and they were all working hard to make it happen. Mia felt something warm in her heart. She was not alone. These people were just like her. They were also nervous, but they were trying, just like her. In the first week, Mia learned how to introduce herself. She learned simple questions like, "What is your name?" and "Where are you from?" At home, she practiced speaking in front of the mirror. She listened to English songs. Sometimes she understood a few words. That made her smile. After a few days, Mia had an idea. She found an empty glass jar. Every time she learned a new word, she wrote it on a small piece of paper. Then she put the paper in the jar. She called it her English memory jar. After 1 month, the jar was full of colorful paper. On days when she felt tired, she opened the jar and read some of the words. It reminded her how much she had learned. It made her feel proud. One evening, something special happened. Mia was walking home when she saw a tourist looking confused. The tourist had a map and looked around, unsure. Mia took a deep breath and said, "Can I help you?" The tourist looked happy and said, "Yes, thank you." They spoke for 1 minute, just a few sentences. But Mia did it. She spoke English with a stranger. After that moment, Mia felt different. She felt strong. She felt brave. She thought, this is why I'm learning English, not just for books or tests. I want to connect with people. English is more than grammar. It is more than vocabulary. English is a bridge. It connects people. It helps us understand each other. It opens doors. Before her first class, Mia only dreamed of speaking English. Now she was doing it step by step, word by word. Every time Mia studied, every time she listened, and every time she practiced, she was moving closer to her dream. She still made mistakes. She still forgot words. But she did not stop. She kept going. And deep inside, she knew one thing. This was only the beginning. A better future was waiting, and she was ready for it. Mia had been learning English for 2 months. At the beginning, she was full of energy. She studied every day. She listened to English songs, watched videos, and practiced speaking. But now, something felt different. She was tired. She didn't feel excited anymore. Some days she didn't want to study. Some days she wanted to quit. She felt like she wasn't improving. When people spoke quickly, she could not understand them. When she wanted to say something, she forgot the words. In class, other students spoke faster. Their pronunciation was better. Mia started to compare herself with them. She thought, why can they speak better than me? Maybe I'm not smart enough. One day, Ms. Elena asked Mia to speak in front of the class. Mia stood up. She opened her mouth to speak, but her mind went blank. She forgot everything she wanted to say. Her voice was small. She made a few mistakes. She could feel her face getting red. After class, she walked outside and sat on a bench. Her eyes were full of tears. Maybe I can't do this, she thought. Maybe English is not for me. Just then, Daniel, one of her classmates, came and sat next to her. He smiled and said, "You were brave today. You stood up and tried. That's what matters." Mia shook her head. "I made too many mistakes," she said quietly. Daniel looked at her and said, "I made 7 mistakes today, too, but I'm still here. I won't stop." Then he said something that stayed in Mia's heart. Fluency is not about being perfect. It's about being brave enough to try. Mia felt a little better. She wiped her tears and smiled back. That night, Mia decided to do something different. She took out a small notebook and wrote on the first page, "My English Confidence Journal." Every night before going to sleep, she wrote one thing she did in English that day. It didn't have to be perfect. It didn't have to be big. Even if it was just saying hello to a neighbor, she wrote it down. Slowly, her journal filled with small wins. She began to see that she was making progress, even if it was slow. She also changed the way she practiced. Instead of only studying grammar, she started to play English word games on her phone. She listened to short English stories while cooking. She joined a Facebook group for English learners. Every week, she and 3 new friends had a video call. They called it Talk and Laugh. For 30 minutes, they talked in English about simple topics like food, movies, or daily life. Sometimes they made mistakes, but they laughed together and learned from each other. Mia began to enjoy learning again. Little by little, she stopped worrying about being perfect. She started to focus on communication. She realized that making mistakes is normal. Even native speakers make mistakes. What's important is to keep speaking, keep trying, and keep learning. One day, Ms. Aleda gave the class a simple but powerful message. She said, "Learning a language is like climbing a mountain. Some days are easy, some days are hard. But if you keep going, you will reach the top." Mia thought about those words often. On hard days, she remembered that it's okay to feel tired. It's okay to feel slow. What matters is not stopping. Now, when Mia makes a mistake, she smiles and says, "It's okay. I'm learning." She understands that doubt and frustration are part of the journey. Everyone feels them, but they don't have to stop us. Mia is still climbing. Some days are harder than others, but every step, no matter how small, brings her closer to her goal. And now, she knows something very important. She doesn't have to be perfect. She just has to keep going. 6 months had passed since Mia started learning English. So much had changed. She was no longer afraid to speak. She was no longer quiet in class. Her notebook was full of words, phrases, and sentences she had learned. Her English confidence journal had over 100 entries, and her English memory jar was full of colorful papers. Each one showed a small success. Now, Mia was doing something she had always dreamed of. She was on a plane to Canada to visit her sister. As she sat by the window, she looked outside and smiled. She remembered her first day in class, when she was nervous and unsure. But now she was different. She felt stronger. She felt proud. On the plane, the flight attendant asked her, "Chicken or pasta?" Mia answered clearly, "Chicken, please." She even asked for water and said thank you. She spoke with confidence. She smiled at the person sitting next to her and said hello. They talked for a few minutes. It was not a perfect conversation, but it was real. Mia understood and responded. She was using English in real life. When she arrived in Toronto, her sister hugged her and said, "Your English sounds amazing." Mia laughed. "I've been working hard," she said. And it was true. During her trip, Mia had many new experiences. She ordered food at restaurants. She asked for directions on the street. She read signs and maps. She even made a new friend at a bookstore. They talked about books, travel, and music, all in English. These were small moments, but to Mia, they felt big. They showed her how far she had come. One night, while sitting with her sister, Mia said, "Learning English changed my life." Her sister nodded. "I can see that. You're not just speaking a new language. You are more confident. You believe in yourself." Mia thought about those words. It was true. English helped her in more ways than she expected. Yes, she could now speak, listen, read, and write in English. But more than that, she had changed inside. She believed she could learn hard things. She believed she could keep going even when it was difficult. When she returned home, Mia wanted to help others. She decided to start something called Teach Back Moments. Every week, she chose one thing she had learned in English and taught it to someone else. Sometimes she taught her nephew, sometimes her neighbor. Sometimes she recorded a short video to send to her classmates. Teaching helped her remember what she had learned, and it made her feel proud to share her knowledge. One day, Ms. Elena asked Mia to visit a new English class and talk to the students. Mia said yes. She was a little nervous, but she was also excited. She remembered her first day. She remembered sitting in the back of the room, scared to speak. Now she was standing in front of others, ready to share her story. She looked at the new students and said, "I was like you. I didn't know much English. I was scared. I made many mistakes, but I didn't give up. I kept going. I kept learning, and now I can speak with you." After her talk, one student came to her and said, "You gave me hope. I feel like I can do it too." Mia smiled. That moment meant everything to her. Mia's journey is not over. She still studies. She still learns new words every week. But now, English is part of her life. It is part of who she is. She listens to podcasts while walking. She writes messages to her friends in English. She watches movies and understands more each time. She knows there will still be hard days. But now, she knows how to keep going. She has the tools. She has the belief. And most of all, she has the experience of growing through every challenge. Mia didn't just learn English. She became a new version of herself, a stronger, braver, and more confident version. And now, when she looks back, she says with a big smile, "I did it. I learned English, and it changed my life. Mia's story is the story of many people. She started with fear and doubt. She did not know if she could learn English. She was afraid to speak. She made mistakes. But she did not give up. Step by step, Mia changed. She found her confidence. She made new friends. She learned new words. She listened. She spoke. And she kept going, even when she felt tired, even when it was hard. She kept climbing, just like someone climbing a mountain. In the beginning, she was a quiet student in the back of the class. But by the end of her journey, she stood in front of others and told her story. That is a big change. That is real growth. Mia did not become perfect, but she became strong, proud, and brave. English opened the door to a new life, and Mia walked through that door. Now, think about your own journey. Maybe you feel like Mia did in the beginning. Maybe you are shy or scared. Maybe you feel slow or think you are not good enough. But remember this, you can do it. Just like Mia, you can take one step at a time. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to keep going. The lesson from Mia's story is simple but powerful. When you believe in yourself and never give up, you will grow. You will change, and your life can become something new and beautiful. Use this lesson in your life. Be patient with yourself. Celebrate small wins. Speak, listen, read, write, even just a little every day. Ask for help when you need it, and always believe that progress is possible. If you are hearing this now, congratulations! That means you just improved your English listening and understanding skills by following a full story in English. That is a big achievement, and you should be proud of yourself. Now it's time for a fun little quiz to help you remember the story. What did Mia call the jar where she put notes about her English progress? A. English success box. B. English memory jar. Write your answer in the comments. A or B. We'd love to see your answer. If you enjoyed this story and want more, please subscribe to our channel to support us. It helps us keep making new and helpful content for English learners like you. And if you feel kind, you can also donate to support our small team. In the beginning, it's very hard to keep things going, but we're doing this for free, just to help you learn English and grow. Thank you for being here. Keep learning, keep shining, and never give up.